I'm actually a terrible programmer. I moved to Canada at 8. I wasn't a math.
Yeah. Oh no. I was unmuted for the entire time, bro. That's just sad. That's just sad. But I was saying that we're just gonna restart there. Okay, we're what I was saying was that this guy says that he's a terrible coder and he moved to Canada. What we're doing here is doing this. I'm gonna edit the first part out. So welcome to the stream. We're here and we're starting off reacting to a video to see if I can and seeing if I can suck at coding, which I don't at the moment. I'm learning both Python and HTML at the moment. And can I do it and become a software engineer? This guy is a guy that his name that goes by the name of Jason Goodinson has 100,000 subscribers and 1 million views on the video that we're watching. And he's talking about how he goes through this thing, and we're gonna see how he goes on to become a software engineer and get hired by people. Let's do this.
I'm actually a terrible programmer.
Uh-huh.
I moved to Canada at 8. I wasn't a math whiz. I didn't build an app by age 6.
Really?
They even put me in special ed. My first job was a
Oh, no.
paper route when I was 12 years old.
Wow, that's an interesting thing. He said that he even got put in special ed. That's something. That's something interesting.
I'm actually
I'm sorry.
terrible.
That's positive.
Random jobs up.
Let's try this again.
I'm actually a terrible programmer. I moved to Canada at 8. I wasn't a math whiz. I didn't build an app by age 6. They even put me in special ed. My first job was a paper route when I was 12 years old, and I continued to do random jobs up until university. I started programming to get a stable job. Coding was just a means to an end. Big tech companies were a dream, but not one I'd ever take seriously. Or so I thought. I applied to a university called Waterloo because it had co-op and I needed help paying for school. The money I raised in all of those previous jobs lasted me less than one full term. Waterloo was a scary place. Everybody already knew how to code. People were using words I'd never even heard before. Garbage collector? I thought that was a government job. What the hell does that have to do with...
This is interesting. He went to Waterloo, and that's one of my dream schools. It's a very interesting school. You have to do some maneuvers to get in there. Also, but I think I'm gonna take advantage with advantage of the way that I'm doing my coding journey is that I'm learning stuff for I'm learning stuff in outside of school so that I can get some certifications that I can put on like a resume or anything so that I can be able to be like, oh, I'm able to do this. I have the certification to make websites, make different things, and then be able to do that and be like, yeah, I'm set. And if I do it like that, I assume that will be more profitable than someone that just has 93 on their report card and nothing else, you know?
Java. Also, what the hell is Java? The first term was super rough. I had no confidence. I really believed I was going to drop out. This was a place for smart people, not for me. The Intro to Computer Science class consumed my life. We programmed in something called Racket, a functional language used for recursion. Also, recursion. How is your professor going to teach recursion by Googling it and then clicking, did you mean recursion on repeat? The worst part about that is it's actually not a bad explanation in retrospect. There were so many deadlines that caught me off guard that I was struggling to submit anything before the deadline, never mind the correct answers. After my first term, I went home and I told my parents to expect that I failed at least one course, but probably more. To my surprise, I got high 60s to low 70s in most of my courses. It was just enough to keep me in the co-op program. The co-op program.
That's something. Now this is something interesting. Those remarks, I see what he's talking about, but also I don't think I'm gonna have that struggle because I'm not. It's just not. I'm adapted for school. I'm not a special ed kid. Though technically, if you talk about me in a different way, I don't know. I don't think I qualify. No, I don't qualify for special ed in any way. But I am a person that is interesting in how I act in school. But let's keep. I want. This is something that I'm very important, very intriguing to me. This co-op. Yeah.
If your imposter syndrome wasn't bad enough, this is when it really kicks into drive.
Hmm.
These prodigy kids are securing Google and Facebook offers, and they won't shut up about it on LinkedIn. Meanwhile, I didn't even bother to apply to these jobs. Why? Because I didn't know how to program. I knew Racket. What the is Racket? I took a job at a company called Maple Leaf Foods, the most Canadian company I could find. It was IT support. I helped people fix their Windows computers. Now, remember that because it's going to come in handy later.
Okay.
While I was there, I noticed there were some basic commands that were done.
Let's write that down. No, I'm not gonna write that down. But it's really interesting that he's learning Replit or whatever he called it. I don't know what he called it. Let's see what he called it. I'm gonna use my other side here and just find out what he was talking about. He learned to Racket. Let's see this Racket program because I don't know what it is. Do people still teach this Racket coding language? Coding language. It is still taught, I guess. I don't know if it's still taught, but it's old. It's old. It's 1995. It's not that old. It's quite young actually. But I guess people don't usually use it that much. It's just for like learning purposes. So I'm just gonna leave. Oh, it literally is there. Wow, I found it literally in the Waterloo's thing. It talks about how Waterloo uses Racket coding language. Teach yourself Racket. Racket is a modern functional programming language, a dialect of Lisp and Scheme. It's good for exploration of ideas and rapid prototyping. Since 2001, it has been my preferred programming language for beginners, and I also recommend it to those with computing assistance due to the low overhead of installation and experimentation. It comes with Dr. Racket, which is my model of what an integrated development IDE should be. Gentle enough for the complex beginner, but sophisticated for experts. And then it did the doc brand is with for mature programmers and that's all that we have to do. But let's go back. That's interesting. That's interesting. But let's keep going.
Repeatedly. So instead of doing it, one day I went to a coffee shop, I bought an Intro to Python course, I Googled the hell out of everything, and I created a Python program that would do these tasks for us. It was a cool initiative, but don't get it twisted. It wasn't some big program. It basically just parsed a CSV file and ran a for loop. For that effort, I was given the highest rating of any previous co-op at Maple Leaf Foods. Lesson number 1, always look for opportunity instead of sulking. Now fast forward to...
Did he say he was the most ranked for who? For what?
Do these tasks for us. It was a cool initiative, but don't get it twisted. It wasn't some big program. It basically just parsed a CSV file and ran a for loop. For that effort, I was given the highest rating of any previous co-op at Maple Leaf Foods.
Wow. But it's also that one company. But that's interesting that he got that nice check, I guess, nice rating, so he could boast to any other co-op thing that he would do later on. And that's cool that he got that. But let's keep going.
1, always look for opportunity instead of sulking. Now fast forward to second year. I'm still feeling pretty bad about the whole program. My friends are coming back and they have awesome stories about cool internships and co-ops, and I fixed a few computers and wrote 46 lines of Python, including comments. This is when I took object-oriented programming. Thank the good Lord. This is actually what programming is. I can now apply to real jobs. Shit, wait, this is hard too. Object-oriented programming is where I learned about inheritance, polymorphism, all of those things that make you a real programmer. Lesson 2, learn how you learn. This is when I learned the best studying method for me, teaching. As I learned a concept, I would go to an empty classroom after dark and teach it to an empty classroom. Yeah, actually. This led me to my second co-op. I'm not going to say the company's name because I don't have anything good to say about them. but you can find them on my LinkedIn if you really care. This company was the worst. They'd yell at me almost every day. They'd blame me for things I never touched. They'd keep me till after midnight some days, and going home at 8 p.m. was a treat. Okay, so this is my lowest point. I promise it gets better from here. The third year, I figured, well, if I was going to drop out, it probably would have happened by now. This is where I start to feel more.
Well, this is an interesting story. So, like, his second year of university was was better and worse at the same time, and that teaching thing works out well because I think I'm going to use that because I like the idea of teaching. So I think I wait. So should I use my YouTube channel, but private videos for that? That could work, and then eventually make them public, and then I'll make polls and stuff like that, and that could work. Because if I will test that out and see if I'm good with that, and then if I'm good with teaching myself, teaching fake content, that'll be cool. I think I'll have to get that sorted and see if that works out for me. But we'll see. We'll see. Because that's a smart idea.
Confident because I figured out university. Lesson 3, figure out university. I no longer rush to finish assignments last second. I start assignments the second they come out, and I usually finish 2 days before. Now I have more than enough time to go to office hours or ask TAs if I really get stuck. I no longer struggle to learn concepts. Some Indian guy on YouTube teaches me, and then I teach an empty classroom. Lesson number 4, sometimes the interview doesn't go well. Don't take it personally. I had an interview at Yahoo that I really wanted because I really wanted to work in California. But they rejected me because I couldn't do Leet Code 6, the zigzag problem. To this day, I cannot do this problem. I'm 25 years old, I work at a major tech company, I've had multiple friends try to explain it to me, and it's Leet Code f***ing medium. So I didn't get the job at Yahoo. I landed.
I feel bad. Yeah, but I have to learn some of those coding things too, because I haven't learned those. But I have a way to find them, and I think I'm going to do them. I'll make some content out of that, because that seems like a fun idea to do, to learn how to crack these problems that people do for like these coding interviews, and being able to do that so that I can be able to say that I'm ready for that and then move on and do what I need to do. And because this channel is mostly about me getting better, and and then if you want to join me on the way, we can join me. That's literally what my banner says. I want to be amazing and want to join me, then you can subscribe. And this is another chance to join and subscribe to this channel and be ready to do anything to join me as I become the amazing person that I've been destined to be. Let's keep going.
I did a job at Toast. No, not that Toast.
Bro, why did you line a job? Oh. That Toast. Okay.
Toast.
What Toast is that?
Back in 2017, it was still a startup. Toast is where I really learned how to be a software engineer. Toast makes restaurant software, point of sale systems, and on their online ordering team, which essentially saved them during the pandemic.
That makes sense. Well, I wonder. Wait. Okay, so they make everything. So like they make the point of sales, the POS, but they also make the online stuff. So that's cool. Let's see how much is Toast valuated at the moment. Toast public valuation. Public valuation. Its public offering was I don't know, but I don't know. That's not work. That's not how I'm supposed to put it. I'm supposed to say market cap. Toast market cap. Market cap is staggering $9.8 billion. That's some good money. And in the past 5 years, they've gone from they haven't. They've just recently become public. So they got public on, and they've kind of gone down. They've gone down quite severely, but I guess their company is just like getting valued correctly, so it's good for them because they're not dropping like Meta is doing. Meta, you lost everything, but like Meta lost everything in a week. This one had lost it in 67% of their valuation in the past year, though it's also not the same thing like Meta's loss. Let's see how much Meta's market cap is at the moment. I have no idea what it is. I want to see what it is. It's $255 billion. Oh God, I feel bad for them, bro. Imagine losing 75%, bro, of your thing in the past year. That's just sad. That's just sad. Wow. That's just this is their lowest since 2017, bro. They're at $96 per share, bro. That's just sad. Also, this frame that we stopped on is it's just amazing. Well, that's just sad. Like I feel bad for Meta. Feel bad for Mark Zuckerberg, but I don't actually hate that much. Like, let's keep going.
They treated me like a normal employee. I had to take a problem to idea to solution and deployment. I learned.
That's actually kind of fun. That's one thing that I want to be able to learn to do. Being able to do that launch the deployment, that kind of thing. Where is it? I don't know.
I finally developed professionally in Java and JavaScript, and I learned they're not. And it's leak code fucking meaty.
Okay, we're still
You may have
fine.
heard of it, but back in 2017, it was still a start. Toast makes restaurant software, point of sale, essentially saved them during the pandemic.
Yep.
They treated me like a normal employee.
Normal employee problem, idea to solution to deployment. That's cool.
Back-end frameworks are. I finally developed professionally in Java and JavaScript, and I learned they're nothing alike and horribly named. I learned about the
Yeah,
pipeline.
that was one thing that I figured out too. Java and JavaScript have nothing to get in common, like literally nothing. Like not like they're built on the same language. They're not even close. It's one is like completely online based, and then the other one is like builds everything that is computer based. Anything that's not C anymore, that is not like anything that is not C is Java. Like it's and then though Python is taken over in different ways because of the amount of AI and stuff that are available through how Python works. And people don't usually. I haven't seen many people that use Python to do AI stuff, but I've seen a lot of people doing it for like either the tensor stuff and also it's Python that uses tensor. I don't know which exactly how it works, but that's how it is. But let's keep going.
Those other buzzwords I'd heard back here. Lesson number 4: slow down. This isn't a race. Test it, then test it again, then again, then again. There were plenty of times where I had a PR with 50 plus comments on it, or I merged my code and I have to revert it multiple times. I was embarrassed about my skill, as if I'd shown my hand and people saw I was bluffing. At Toast, that time constraint was in my own head. They just wanted the code to work. I was trying to prove I was a worthy hire and pump out as much productivity as I could, but I was doing sloppy work as a result. I often missed details in the spec, or I didn't fully test my code. When my boss pointed that out to me, it was actually kind of freeing, and it resulted in me doing much better work overall. If it wasn't for Toast, I probably would have quit the game. But to my surprise, they also gave me the highest rating. Lesson number 5. Your life isn't over. You'll get another shot. Remember back when I failed that interview at Yahoo? Well, I got another one, and this time I had easier problems, so I got the job. I worked with this other intern named Sahir. Now, remember that because it's going to come in handy later. I wrote all of the functionality for this search bar in the new and improved Yahoo Mail. You probably haven't seen it because you use Gmail. I know, me too. I paid you for the
That's hilarious. I wrote the software, the functionality for the search there, and then so you probably don't know what it is, but because you use Gmail, it's like it's like I get you. It's like I do. Doesn't even use the same. How was it called? The same mail as the company's working for. That's just hilarious.
housing I've ever lived in, and I had cockroaches. Lesson 5.5: Cali is expensive and has cockroaches. Damn, what an L. Moving on. Lesson number 6: do the research yourself. At Yahoo, there were plenty of times I asked questions I didn't have to. Most of the tasks that you need to do are already documented in your company's wiki. If you want to, for example, create a new deployment pipeline, ask your team for a link to the company wiki and then just do a search for it. You'll most likely come up with the answer. And if you don't, it's fair game to ask. And once you ask, Just write that document so the next person doesn't have to ask.
Got it.
After
So
Yahoo, I
make
took
sure that
one
you're
last
documenting stuff.
I wanted to
That's good to
travel,
know.
so I went back to Toast,
Always
but I worked for
document.
the Dublin office. Now,
Use
since I was
GitHub
originally from
responsibly.
Ireland, I didn't need any visa or anything like that. I was 1 year away from graduating when I got a text message from Sahir back from Yahoo. He texted me, I just got a full-time job offer at Microsoft. Wait,
Let's go.
Microsoft? This whole time, I thought I wasn't smart enough to work at Microsoft, but I worked with Sahir. And he's a smart guy, but we had the same job. If he can get that job, surely I can get it too, right? I applied and I got the interview. They wanted to fly me out to Seattle, but my current job didn't want me to go. Lesson number 7, take a chance on yourself. I made the executive decision to go anyway and burn that bridge at Toast. It was a hard decision to make because I still love and respect the company.
For
But
sure.
I had to do what was right for me. And honestly, most of my colleagues thought I was doing the right thing. I remember on the plane thinking, if I fail this interview, I have nothing. No pressure. Lesson number 8, it's all relative. This whole time at Waterloo, I felt as if I was below the bar. Everybody else was smarter than me. I was always the dumbest person in the room. At the Microsoft interview, most people had 1 intern experience and I had 6. It was the first time I realized that everything's relative. Sure, I was below average at Waterloo, but I was above average countrywide. The interviews all went well, except for one, and I landed the job. Now remember back to that first internship where I was helping people fix their Windows computers?
Yeah.
Now I'm literally coding Windows.
Ha!
All in the span of 4
He got
years.
it. He got it.
Lesson number 9.
Wow,
Don't
wow,
be
wow.
an elephant. Wait, let me
What?
explain. Do you know they can tie elephants down with a small stick and a piece of rope? Surely
Mm-hmm.
the elephant can pull this out of the ground. Why don't they just walk away? When the elephant is young, they tie it up securely. It learns it isn't strong enough to escape. Even when it turns into a 4-ton behemoth, it doesn't realize. It doesn't even try to escape anymore. The restraint in this case was my limiting beliefs. Microsoft was ecstatic to hire me, but if it wasn't for Sahir, I wouldn't have even applied. So know this. You won't be able to immediately pull the stick out of the ground, but you
Yeah,
will.
but also he hasn't said it yet, but he most likely will. But he hasn't said anything about like making friends. I don't think he said it because it's only 40 seconds away. And also I'm getting cold. That's why I'm covering myself up. I didn't I forgot that I was streaming, but then I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's get snug and as a rug and in a bug. No, bug as a rug. Snug as a bug in a rug. You know? Also, this is a cool city line. It's a nice vibe. I like it very much. Also, shout out to Sam Goodson. I'm shouting out people now because of a certain incidents that happened recently recently with this channel that I will reveal eventually. But it's it's amazing to this video has been really insightful. So let's go over let's let him finish and then we'll go over the lessons again.
Get there.
You'll most
If you
likely
are
go
the
over,
smartest
I
person
hope.
in the room, you're doing something right. And if you are the smartest person in the room, find a different room.
Okay.
I created these resume templates that went viral on LinkedIn. A Facebook resume that looks like a Facebook feed. A Google resume that looks like Google search. We drafted up resumes like this for all the big tech companies and we're giving them away for free. We got plenty of recruiters reaching out to us telling us how cool these things look. We're giving these resume templates away to anyone who subscribes and likes the video. Then you can just go to hiredfortech.com and enter your email. Voila, we'll send it to you. The earlier you sign up, the better because we're sending these out in waves and less people that have them, the more unique they are.
I see.
I'm actually a terrible programmer. I moved to Canada at 8.
Bro, thanks, Sam. We're grateful for your insight. Let's see. I want to see where he's coming from. Where is the video I need to find? So that we can shout him up and tell everyone to subscribe. Subscribe to Sam Goodinson. He's a good guy. Jason Goodinson. I said Sam. And this is so we're most likely gonna go and watch a lot of these videos, but we're gonna make sure that we can get these journeys and stuff because these are really good. But thank you for watching. This was a fun experience, though. Even though I started off with like a whole minute, not even talking really, but this is really cool. It's very nice. This lesson that he gave us. Well, let me check the description so that we can know what the lessons are. I don't want to. Okay. The first lesson is always look for opportunity. So just look for whatever you can do. Then learn how you learn.
I need to find the best way to learn math and science.
Learn how you learn. Figure out university. Slow down. Slow down. Your life isn't over. Do the research yourself. Take a chance on yourself. It is all relative. Don't be an elephant. I'm taking these advice and I'm going to be able to use this to do all these things. So, see ya. And I'll see you. I'll see you in the next time. Bye.